Hush, babe.
We are live.
Are we live? Yay! I'm excited. This song got me into the holiday season.
This is one of my favorite holiday songs.
Come on, y'all.
Hey, everybody.
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
A Happy New Year. Oh, y'all want me to sing?
No.
Let me hear you.
Which one am I? Which one am I?
Undetermined. We gotta hear your voice.
Okay.
You might be the one in the back. way in the back. It is the
Let us hear you in the back.
podcast. Yeah.
Hey, y'all.
We are getting into the holiday spirit. Oh, hey, Nika. Come on.
Have a very Merry Christmas.
Happy New Year. That's what we wishing for everybody.
Woo. Happy holidays.
Happy New Year.
A happy
This how
New
you
Year.
in the shoulder, up. Hey! Woo!
Woo.
Happy holidays. Wishing everyone a happy new year. That song is fantastic. I would really love to know if any of our guests who are just tuning in, we got a good bit of eyes on us right now. Hi, V. What's your favorite holiday song?
Hello.
Like, you have a holiday song. Lex, Jazz, do y'all have a holiday song?
Yes.
What's
Yes.
your holiday song?
My favorite holiday song is This Christmas, the Braxton version. So I love This Christmas. By all means, I love that one. But the Braxtons did a Christmas album, I guess about 4 or 5 years ago, I guess it was. And I love their iteration of it. Their version of it is so dope.
Wow. Jazz, how about you?
I'd have to say I do like This Christmas as well. I like the Donny Hathaway version. I really love his version. But I also like Temptation, Silent Night. So
yeah, that's a classic.
That is a classic. So this Christmas, the one that I love is Chris Brown's version. But I have to check out the Braxton Sisters version because I'm curious to hear that. It's just such a beautiful song, right? It just like opens up some heart space. And regardless of what your favorite song is, definitely turn it on because that has really helped me to kind of get into the holiday cheer, whatever it is that you celebrate. It's always just like a good feeling that you want to conjure up around this time. Because especially the holidays can be pretty hard. You know, they can definitely be challenging. So we hope everybody is doing well. Thank you to those who are tuned into this week's episode of the Legacy Podcast. And of course, you guys already know I'm Kiya, your favorite inspirationalist. And we have some wonderful guests that are waiting in the virtual green room. But before we bring them on, ladies, introduce yourselves.
hey everybody, it's me, Jasmine, your divine diva.
And it is Alexia, your expert in evolution.
Woo! So last week, Jazz, you were in a different location. And like this week, you are in a different location. I wonder, should I move around? Like in the new year, I'm going to get a different spot. You will not see this wall. You won't see. You will not. Oh my God, where did she go? I'm moving around.
But we love the wall. The wall represents classic, legacy. Yeah, that's
our starting.
Yeah.
That's our starting point. It's like you cannot show people that wall. We have to have that background. But I agree with you. Next year it'll be okay for you to kind of move around your location, be in the car for a little bit, on a trip somewhere, tune in.
That's what we should do, right? Like when we're on vacation, no taking off. Pull up your phone. And for those of you who are watching, we are on StreamYard. It is a very easy platform to gain access to and to have your audience view you. So there is no excuse for you not to show up. Look at me, messing it up for myself in 2021. Now I got the Sunday. But no, we got some great guests. And this is our last show for the year of 2020. And I think we're ending this year really with a bang. And I'm going to bring our phenomenal sisters on who are going to help us close out the Legacy Podcast final episode of 2020. But before I bring them on, I am going to just tell you, it is the ladies from Candid Combos. Yes, when I say candid, it's very candid. Okay, it's very candid. So you might be clutching your pearls sometimes with their conversations. But anyway, so one of the people I am very, very familiar with, and she is my favorite person. You guys know her. She has been on the show. She has stood in and held my seat. So you know she good. So T. Pearson has modeled her life by following Dr. King's mantra that everyone can be great because anyone can serve. She is the founder of Love Advocates, LLC, VP of Community Relations for CocoBump.com, co-host of one of the hottest VCasts, Fire, Candid Convos with T and Kiya. She is a wife, she is a mother, she is a disabled Army veteran, philanthropist, and the list goes on and on. While wearing all of these hats, T uses her comedic personality to help herself and others laugh through their pain. Her favorite hashtags are transparent talk, but God, laugh through the pain, and F them kids. Can I say F them kids on a legacy? Okay, I can say F them kids. Okay, all right. And her co-host, who I absolutely love too, not just because her name is Kiya, we share that in common, but she is an amazing person, and she has to sit next to T, and you're gonna see why. So Takia Green Holmes, aka Kiya G, is a mother of 6 and co-host of Candid Convos with T and Kiya on Facebook. Takia earned her master's degree from Howard University and has worked in family and child care welfare system for the last 20 years. That's a long time. Recently, Kiya G, along with her daughter V is her daughter. Okay, let me get the T, have started their very own LLC. Don't ignore the scars in July of 2020. Don't ignore the scars, or DITS mission is to educate and spread awareness about adolescent self-harming behaviors. Come on, come through. Like, can we please?
Yeah. Hey. Yeah. What's up?
Hey.
Hi, ladies.
Hello.
Oh my gosh. I was just doing some reading and y'all interrupted me.
Oh God.
I was trying to get some recipes.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
You didn't see that, did you?
No, they didn't see that.
We did.
We listen. Different folks, strokes for different folks, right?
That's what the book said too, Kiya. That's just what the book just said on page 14.
We will keep it PG-13 just for today. And
I know some grown ass 13-year-olds, so we're gonna be good.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you for that lovely introduction. I appreciate it. I love it. I love it. We're here.
Yes,
Mama, we made it. We made it to victory.
I love how y'all are matching. I love how y'all matching with y'all red and black.
Hey, listen, she be having me in wardrobe.
No.
And since I don't do makeup, she like, and you gonna wear that because you gonna wear that. So
it's hard, y'all.
She made me take my sweatshirt and stuff off.
It's hard.
She said, dress up.
It's hard.
Hey.
Hey,
Albert
Tony.
says hello. Anika says, hey, T and Kiya.
Hey, folks.
We have
Thanks
a lot
for joining us, man. And listen, thank you, ladies, for having us on this show. Y'all just celebrated 4 years.
Yes.
And I think we're the first episode and after the 4 years, right?
So we're the last episode of the year is probably a better way to put
we're
it.
the first and the last.
Right.
Well, you on my side today. You on my side today. Remember,
wait.
We do have a game that we play with all of our guests so that our audience can further get to know you, which from the conversation they have already gotten an earful. However, sticking to the Legacy Podcast production, let's go ahead and play.
All right. So the beautiful T and Kiya G. I am going to be playing our favorite game, Could You Live Without? You know how this game is played because you've played it with us before. You played us as part of our audience pool. T, you played it with guests before, so you know how it works. But just for those who may be tuning in, we are playing Could You Live Without? So I'm going to give you 2 options. and you have to decide between which one you can live without. So I'm gonna direct the question to each of you individually to start. All right, so I'm gonna start with Kiya G. Kiya G. All right. Could you live without, and I kind of know the answer to it, but I'm gonna ask anyway, just for our audience as they get to know you. Could you live without sneakers or heels?
Oh, sneakers. I can live without sneakers because I don't really own that many pairs anyway. Oh. And the few that I own, other people have bought them for me. I'm a shoe gal. I love shoes.
Okay, can I just say I actually am excited to see that there's some divide between the two of you. So I think Kiya and I will be happy, and Jazz will be happy because But I'm gonna pose the question to you, T, but it's a little differently. All right, because we already know which one you can live without. For those of you who don't know, you about to hear. Could you live without Vans or Converse?
Oh,
or Chuck? Could you live without Vans or Chuck?
Man.
Oh, that's a close one.
Because she went to Howard. Just trying to figure something out. Why she ain't got to choose?
She doesn't have to choose.
Damn, Vans or Converse. I'm trying to get a job with both of them. You about to mess up my employment purposes, Milestone Pros.
Evolution in progress.
According to my life coach, I plead the fifth.
No, you have to.
Not on this show.
Thank you, Kiya. Thank you, Kiya G. You know the deal. Come on, T.
You got to answer.
Damn.
Come on.
I don't know.
You got it. Come on. 3.
I'm gonna say Chucks. I can live without, because they kind of make my feet hurt if I walk in them too long.
Okay.
Vans got a little more soul support.
They do.
Okay. All right. So T, this one I'm gonna start with you. Okay. It's the holiday season, right? So everybody's getting prepared with their meals and things like that. So we know the tables are going to be lit. So on your Christmas dinner plates, what could you live without? Could you live without macaroni and cheese or greens?
All right, I got a clarification question. Who cooked it?
Nope. You love the cook. You love the cook. And the cook is clean. The cook, ain't no cat hair in the dishes. Ain't no dog hair on they.
Ain't no roaches doing trampoline jumping around the pan.
Ain't no roaches swimming in the gravy. Okay.
All right, so macaroni and cheese and greens, you say?
Yep. Which one could you live without on your dinner plate?
Damn, I would probably say green. Mm-hmm. I could probably live without greens on my dinner plate, but I'll put them in a bowl. So
no. Wow. Okay. No.
That's not how they go.
Okay. She said on the dinner plate.
Kiya G. All right, Kiya G. This question for you.
Yeah,
now,
Nika, that was
again,
a good one.
We're gonna stick with the meal, right? It's Christmas dinner. The house is smelling good. Mm-hmm. Now we get into the desserts. Okay. Could you, on your Christmas dessert plate, could you live without a sweet potato pie or what's your favorite cake?
She likes pumpkin stuff too.
Shut your mouth. Strawberry shortcake.
Okay. Could you live without strawberry shortcake or sweet potato pie?
Oh, I can live without sweet potato pie because I'm one of those weird people. I actually don't like sweet potato pie.
She like
Thank
pumpkin.
you. That part right there, baby. That part right there.
Because they have those weird strings in them sometimes, and sometimes it's just too sweet, and then it's not enough. I'm over it.
Okay, well that's good to know that you like strawberry shortcake. All right, last one, and I'm gonna start with Kiya G again. All right. Okay. So, could you live without 2020 or 2019?
Right, that's hard.
2020. I can live without 2020.
Last question.
A lot of good stuff happened in 2020, though.
It did.
I can live without 2020.
That's it, right? She said, and I stick with that.
I didn't even know
one for you, T.
I'm hurt my feelings. I'm about to leave.
Oh,
because she said she could live without meeting me, so she could do this by herself.
I thought she met you in 2019, though.
I did. That's why I don't know what she's talking about.
That's
what 2019.
Yes, I watched the show.
I'm back then. I apologize.
That was
okay. Last one, T. Could you live without bucket hats or brim hats?
Oh, that's a good one too.
Ooh. Y'all are killing us.
Dang.
Tony, shut up. Talking about eel pumpkin pie.
Oh, Tony, I'm with you. Eel pumpkin pie. I had some some of my
you ate. I could have sworn you
lighter
focus.
complexion
Focus.
friends like
You still got to make a decision.
Come on, stay focused.
I'm gonna go. Damn, I'm gonna have. Damn. Is damn a PG-13 word? Can I say that?
You're perfectly fine with saying that. Just answer the question, Anna Mae.
Damn. Let me. Y'all can take the bruh. Oh, y'all can take the bucket hat. Y'all
Yes.
Are you serious? Nah, you.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad to hear that.
Nope. That was your final answer.
That's
Final
right. I'm with
answer.
Tony. Get them bucket hats out of there. Thank you,
you,
ladies, so
Jesus.
much.
Thank
Thank you,
you,
ladies, for
Jesus.
playing with us. Thank you.
That was fun.
Y'all done raised my blood pressure.
See, do you remember at your birthday this year, you actually gave me the bucket hat. So that is something that you will relinquish. You will. Yeah, you actually gave me the lime green bucket hat.
By any chance, would you be relinquishing the bucket hats in 2021?
Hell no, I just started wearing hats. I just realized that my hair looked cute in the hat. So I ain't giving them up no time soon.
Jazz, you would look cute in a bucket hat, though. I think you could pull it off.
You got one of them long foreheads.
Wait a minute, I didn't say that.
Okay, wait.
Now the people with long foreheads, we get to put our hats up, and then you can kind of cut your forehead in half like that. See what I'm saying? Or you can like put it down, and they can't even see our forehead till you take it off.
You're making it worse.
I'm just saying.
Well, listen.
That's a hat tip.
You've given more gems so far than we have anticipated, and the audience is definitely here for it. So thank you for everyone who have continued to tune in and who have just tuned in. We have the dynamic duo from Candid Convos, T and Kiya, and the snippets that you're getting from our show, guys. This is what you can get every single Friday. We're going to get into how you can get more of them because you guys are just absolutely amazing. And I'm so
Mama, we made it. Mama, we made it. Hey, Darlene, is you working or no? Look at your daughter on the big screen. I had to tell my mama, we made it. My grandmother be watching. Hey, Senior, shout out. Shout out to my 78-year-old grandma on Facebook.
Can we bring her grandmother's comments to the front? If
she gonna be on later on. You know, when she's sitting in her recliner watching Wheel of Fortune.
Shout out to her for watching the replay. So we're gonna go ahead and get into the conversation. Jazz, I'll kick it to you. What questions do you have for our ladies from the Candid Convo show?
Well, ladies, I'm definitely glad that you guys are on with us today. We're extremely excited to have you on. So my first question for you ladies is, what inspired the start of Candid Convos? Like, what was your inspiration behind it?
Wow. Okay. So we probably have some similar and some different, some aspects.
And somewhere in the middle will be the truth. But go ahead.
No, we're very transparent. We're always telling the truth. That's what's candid about us.
That's true.
That's what's candid about us. That's true. Two things inspired me. One, I think that women are just over-sexualized, underprotected, underrepresented. And so I really just wanted a platform just for women, something for us, where we can actually come off this script that's called life sometimes that you have to do, where you have to dress things up, you have to say things a certain way. And so that's why we started it with this segment that was just know your role, because know your role, woman. Right. Because it was crazy to me how much women were holding in because it didn't look good to say something, or they were afraid to kind of rock the boat in their life or in their careers. And so I really wanted to kind of share my journey and be really transparent while trying to kind of inspire other women to come and kind of take that same journey with me. The second inspiration was my daughter, because right now we are really, really putting a lot of energy into Don't Ignore the Scars, because there are so many adolescent young ladies, and I'm not going to say just of color, but just adolescent little girls, period, that have a whole lot of emotion, are struggling with low self-esteem, depression, all of these things. And honestly, I wanted to inspire these young girls to literally say what they feel and express it in whatever creative way they could. So I thought if my daughter V saw me doing something like this, then that would encourage her to do the same instead of cutting on herself. So my daughter was my inspiration, and definitely just the whole feminist aspect of who I am. All right.
Ooh.
And
Ooh.
look, it was also we started off with discussing just kind of some of the life things that we had going on in our own lives as women, as moms, as wives. And so those conversations for me was like, you know what, Kiya, like we can't be the only ones that feel this way.
Yeah.
And so like it got to be other women that feel the way that we feel about this. And so she was like, well, what are we gonna do with it? I'm like, well, shoot, we can go live. Like just go live and figure out, you know, and kind of share what we were feeling.
Yeah.
And then for me, it was also a role of like transparency, like Kiya was saying, but also a role of just kind of being boisterous and not being afraid to be the rebel wife, not being afraid to kind of be the rebel woman that don't live within these boxes of what they call normal society. And so the folks that know me know that I don't check boxes. Like I kind of live as free as I possibly can. More so this year. This year has definitely been one of those journeys of just me healing from inside out, and just being transparent about what I'm going through, because I knew that, because sometimes really what happens is when we talk about a show planning, Kiya and I are like arguing back and forth like 3-4 o'clock in the morning on a Thursday. And then it's like, you know what? Kiss my ass. Tomorrow at 7, we're gonna talk about it on the air, because it gotta be other people that think the way I think. And then she'll be like, no, P, you're wrong. And so-and-so is going to agree with me. So that's how we come up with the show.
It's true.
It's really whatever we feel like we disagree with, because we are so different but similar.
Yeah.
And so the other thing about the starting the conversation was just that too. That we were two people who thought differently about life, thought differently about the role as a wife, role as a mom. We have different parenting styles. Yeah. But because of those differences, I feel like we've been able to learn more about each other and show people that different folks can gel together and share the same message. So,
yeah. I love it. One thing that I'm hearing, and again, just thank you to our audience who are continuing to listen. And this is a phenomenal conversation, especially about beginnings. And I like how you guys started. It was very raw and uncut. And yeah.
I'm sorry. And we were co-workers. So we were co-workers at our part-time job, and we didn't work the same day. Like whenever I worked, she didn't work. But like I never really worked because I traveled a lot for my full-time job. And so we never really worked together, but we kind of built a friendship just as sharing the stories about the residents that we work with. So I think even that in itself, like even I don't think we would have thought we would have been here, you know, a year or so ago. Because we weren't having that kind of conversations, but friendships did spark, and then family kind of came from there. So, yeah.
That's amazing. You got in just that short period of time, and that's what people say, it doesn't matter sometimes how long you've known a person, that depends on the connection, because you can meet somebody a short while ago and have a really, I would call it divine connection with that person, because it sounds like you two, the connection was very divine. Because it wasn't, you know, something that you conjured up. You just went with it, and that's what makes it so beautiful, so raw and uncut. Lex, I'm going to kick it back to you, and then I'll go with my question.
Okay, so I have a follow-up to Jazz's question, then I'll ask my question, because I think it's very important for the audience to know this one component. I think it's really going to set the framework as far as like the origination and the support that you guys have. So my question, my first follow-up question is, so who came up with the name of your show?
She is Patty. So what had happened was,
that's a good story.
Kiya and I had a conversation about going live. Like I said, we was talking about going live, but then it's like, Kiya was like, well, what is the show name? And I'm like, man, I don't know. We could be like question marks for all I care, right? So like, we just got to go live. So of course, I called my mentor, my evolution in progress specialist, Alexia. And it was like, you know, we want to do this, this, and this. And she was like, you guys should call it Candy Combos, because you guys are going to be talking about anything. And I was like, and we're going to be like the Jerry Springer, Steve Wilkos, Sally, Jesse, Raphael, you know what I'm saying, / Ricky Lake. And so like, we were going to give all of that. So then she was like, Candy Combos. And I went back to Kiya, and I was like, our Oprah said, we should call ourselves Candy Combos. That's what I call it. Well, y'all that don't know, Kiya calls
calls Alexia her Oprah, so I figured I might as well share that little nugget of information too.
Shout out. Oh my gosh, wow, ladies! I was not expecting you guys to give me that shout out. Thank you so much.
We appreciate you, Milestone Pro, and we appreciate being a client.
I know, but I also have to give a shout out to Kiya because, like I said in our last show where you took over Candid Convos, Kiya took the time out her schedule to actually sit with us and show us, give us all these pointers about going live because I had never gone live before. I was all nerves. She talked to us everything from lighting to time of how to map out the show and oh my gosh, I adore you. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
Let me have five and what we also like to add for the folks that's watching is like really genuinely we thank all three of you ladies because you guys have definitely gave us a model to step into and you guys are just like available anytime, like even with the Kiya, right? I'm like texting like, hey, can you help us? And Kia's like, what you need? Right. Are you free tomorrow? She said, absolutely. Right. And like just to have a village behind us, like pushing us forward and like making sure we know the right things to do, even though we might not do them, but we know, you know what I'm saying? We thank y'all for sharing the knowledge and for giving us, just some advice on tips on how to be on our platform. So we thank you ladies for that. Appreciate you.
Oh, thank you.
And Jazz, thank you, Jazz, because I thought about makeup, lipstick, lip gloss, all those things. Because Kiya and I, we didn't get a chance to talk about that. But then when I saw you and you were like glossed up, and then you were like, and y'all need to make sure, and then you love shoes. I was like, oh, okay, let me talk to my daughter. Because when I come on here next time, I'm gonna be full face.
And that's why she be late.
So thank you for that.
Listen, definitely. I appreciate your ensemble and your look today. I like the fact that you also helped your co-host out as well too today. Looking really nice and put together.
Okay, wait, that's fake news because I talk about the colors and stuff.
But I picked out my own clothes, Mom.
Yeah, you did.
You look great. You both
look beautiful. You both look beautiful. Yeah. So the question that I have really is centered around, you guys mentioned that the inspiration, like you said, for the show birthed out of kind of your own transparency. And so for the audience, if you could just now both of you are like in the health and human services industry. See, I know that you work program coordination, street work, field work, and Kiya is a social worker, as you mentioned. So how has, and I'll start with you, T, how has your experiences helped to shape the framework for some of the questions? I know you said you guys kind of tag team the topics, but how has that influenced the line of subjects that you've had as it relates to your podcast? Like one of my favorite ones that you had on, or one of the favorite ones that I saw was the F Them Kids one. And so like inspiration, experience, stuff like that, how does that play into these topics?
Wow, that's a good topic. Good question. What's up, Elaine? You late as hell. You better be baking me a pie, lady. Anyway, Elaine baked some bomb ass pies. Let me just go ahead. And I seen her face, my stomach growl, so I had to say it. Sorry. She got them stink pies. Y'all seen my thing, but listen. So wow, I think me doing social service work kind of frames the conversations, I think even for both of us, of like, what are some taboo topics that we know people are talking about, but like are ashamed to say they're talking about. And so we will have like some wild conversations, like especially if I'm medicated. Okay, like I could be talking about any and everything, but then it forms into a discussion between us, and then we'll pull V in. Sometimes we'll call you twin, and like, what do you think about this, and this? And then it's like, well, dang, if 5 or 6 of us, you know, then we like, well, that's tag team issue, right? And if all of us are thinking the same way, it's like, we can't be the only ones that think this. So let's talk about it. And so I think just in the human aspect, the human services point, is like, we're so used to people not really noticing us because we do a thankless job. And so we don't necessarily see monetary reward for the things that we do, for the things that we may discuss, and for the things that we experience. But to know that you're not alone in that process is a big deal. And so even though we may disagree on stuff, we agree on the fact that it's other people that feel the way we do. And then we're able to disagree respectfully. It's not a cat fight, it's just us. And I think that's just a bigger point for us at Candid Convos, is to have a platform of like honesty and transparency and inclusiveness, because we know that the world is made up of so many different types of people, and we're not going to agree all the time, but we can agree to disagree and move on. And so I think we're trying to model even that platform to, the folks that watch us, that we can giggle and laugh and argue and cuss each other out. But at the end of the day, this is a bond. And that's what every bond should be able to agree and disagree. And like, I got you, bro. I got you, sis. F you, but come on, let's go get something to eat.
Okay, now let's hear from Kiya G.
Right. F you. Wow, that was a good question. That's a good question. I probably want to say, in terms of the topics and the subject matter, I want to say probably about 50% of it is inspired by the work that I do. And probably the other 50% is probably inspired just by my life period, my journey as a foster child who's gone through the foster care system, who basically kind of scratched and salvaged her way through college with hardly no money, and becoming a mom and just all of that aspect of it. I think being in the child welfare system, there's a code of ethics that you have to follow. And so like while we're doing these shows, I constantly have to be mindful of what subject would be a bit of a liability for me as a professional. I have to think about disclosure and confidentiality and those kind of things that sometimes my co-hosts will just say, bump it, whatever, let's just say it. And I'm like,
that's not true, because
I said sometimes.
I said sometimes. I do the disclaimer.
Yeah, but the disclaimer is about the profanity and the type of show.
But when we're doing a sensitive show, we say, but when this may trigger you.
Right, but when we structure the show, when we're outlining a show, I have to think about things. And sometimes T may not necessarily be seeing it from the lens that I'm seeing it, because even though we're both in human services, we are doing two different things.
Right.
But it makes for good topics, I think, together. But I constantly have to be thinking about that. And then it is a bit of a balancing act, because there are some things that I really want to do on Candid Convos that I won't do. Just because it's a conflict of interest. There are people that I won't invite to the group because that's going to be a whole conflict of interest. So it's a balancing act.
And shout out to, thank you so much to both of you. I just want to shout out a couple comments we got. Hey, Crystal, who is down in the Baltimore area as well. We're just
What's
here
up,
with
Crystal?
and Kiya of Candid Convos. And Kiya, I know, Kiya Stroman, our Kiya, with the legacy. I know you probably have a question too, but Kiya G, this one is directed to a fellow social worker of yours, Anika Tillery. And she just wanted to quickly know, was it challenging to balance between the struggle of finding your own voice and supporting and empowering women to find their voices after trauma, considering the work that you're doing as well?
Absolutely. I had to do a lot of self-work. I have my own therapist that's a bit of a life coach for me. I had to really, I do a lot of meditation. He'll tell you that. I do a lot of meditation. I chant. For anyone that doesn't know, I study Nichiren Buddhism, and it's something that I've been doing for the last year. I've been studying for the last year, and it really helps center me. It really helps me to focus my energy on my purpose. And so like, I have a ritual that I do every single day to keep me energized enough to be able to receive the messages that I need to receive from the universe, and to be able to give out from a full glass. And so, we hear that all the time, but it's so true. You really can't pour from an empty cup. And so I really have to keep myself full, and I keep myself full in different ways. Again, I meditate, I chant, I do a lot of writing, I do a journal, I do free expression in my free time, and I have to do that. If I don't do those things, it's more difficult.
Thank you.
Can I add on to that?
You can.
I also want to throw out, so another one of the differences, right, between us is that I'm actually Baptist, and I believe in Jesus and God and the Trinity. And so even though she doesn't, and we are in these different religions, it doesn't separate the purpose that we have to help empower women, empower people to kind of just be true in their own stance and who they are. And the other piece of like why we started for me was that I wanted to help Kiya find her own voice, and be able to like say, not necessarily F this, but like, you know what, let's look at things a little differently because things can be looked at differently. So it wasn't to kind of persuade her to change or anything. It was for me to show my true authentic self, to show her kind of just a little bit more what a voice can be if you recognize the power of your own self. Right. Wow. And so and when she found that, listen, she cusses me out real good now. So I'm like, damn, I gotta take the batteries out a little bit now, because like
Kiya, so you found your voice?
You know, I'll have to say yes, I have. Okay. And I appreciate all of you for helping me find it. But it actually was a process, and it was really difficult.
It still is a process.
It is because I had to really confront a whole lot of insecurities. I had to like face myself.
So listen, so you guys are going right into my question. So let me just frame it. And Kiya G, I want to keep it with you because one of my questions, and I kind of know the story of how you guys got started, and Kiya G wanted to find her voice, and T being a really great partner in ushering you into that. So Kiya G, one of the things I wanted to know is what advice do you have for women who are trying to like stay in that comfort zone of, I found my voice, this is where I am, I'm going forward in 2021. So because if you're saying you found it, how do we stay there? How do we become comfortable? How do we sit straight up in our seats, right? Or 10 toes down? That's what I want to know from you. The other piece that I want to know from T is, T, what advice do you have for someone who is trying to get into that comfort zone? I know we may be starting different, but Kiya G, you keep going, and then T, let me know what advice do you have for someone who is struggling with getting to that place where Kiya is now.
Gotcha. Well, I'm going to tell you, good question, Kiya. I love them. First of all, I'm going to say this, own it and surround yourself. Because while I was going through this process, I had to be around, I love that word. I had to be around girlfriends, and I had to be around people that supported my evolution, the new version of Kiya. Wow. And when I would, because during this process, you have bad days, you have bad moments where you doubt yourself. You say, and I'm going to say, make that normal, just like any other type of process or recovery or journey. Right. Normalize the regression and the doubt and all of that, because right when you feel like you're able to hear your voice and you're your most confident, that's when something will happen in your life and it'll make you doubt everything that you've just done, everything that you just achieved. So when that happens, this is where your village and all these people who inspire you to be great, right, have to kind of be like this voice for you, where they are like, no, you going back into that. An accountability person, if you want to call it that, you got to do that. Because I'm going to tell you something, I was going back into my comfortable spot. I was saying, no, I shouldn't say something. I shouldn't say something to Michael about that. I shouldn't say something to my program manager about that, because it's going to create too much. And so I had a V. Now I'm going to tell you something. My daughter V is more like T. So I have, and she's 22 and she's a powerhouse, right. Way different than I am. But I have her, or T, or even you, Alexia, saying, no, you're good. No, I think hey, when you said you were going to tell him, yeah, I think you should go with that, you know? So I will have to say that's really helped me. And it takes time. So give yourself time. Allow yourself time.
Wow. That was beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. And T, from, again, my question to you was, how do you, or what advice do you have for women who are afraid to move out of their comfort zone? Like, how can they get out there and be where Kiya G is today?
Man, it's called shaking the room, man. Like, I love shaking the room. I love going in and shaking things up, because society will kind of tell us that a woman should be this way, a woman should be that way. If you're not this way, then you're that. If you're not this way, then you're that. And I don't feel like it has to be an either or as a woman. And so I believe that we have a voice, and nobody should be able to come in and like shut your ass up or like muffle you. Because it's, for me, it's kind of like DV. Like if I can't be who I really am, like you're muffling me for a reason, right? And so my advice to Kiya was like, when she would say, "Oh, I wanted to write a book," and I'm like, "Okay, well, why not?" And she was like, "Oh no, I just can't because of this, this, and this." And I was like, "Kiya, F that, like F that, like you can do that. Why can't you write a damn book?" Right? And so she was like, "Yeah, you're right." And so I stayed on her ass about it. And now the book is damn near done between her and V. Her and V are writing this book. And it's like, why can't you do that? Right? And so for me, it was behind her. And every time she would throw the brakes on, I push her ass forward. So either your feet gonna move or you're gonna fall. But either way, I'm gonna be there with you. And so I think for the person who needs to use their own voice, even I'm learning how to use my voice in a more not so aggressive kind of way, right? But it's more about self-love. And I feel like, you know, as the old saying goes, you train people how to treat you based on how you treat yourself. Yeah. And so if I'm not using my voice for the better good, there's no way I could tell somebody else, one of my clients, somebody I'm mentoring, somebody I'm seeing, somebody I'm dating or whatever, to be the best self when I'm not doing it myself. So I feel like breaking that routine of doing what I say and not as I do, that shit is old. Like we have to be the change we want to see. And so that's in relationships, that's in the world, that's in parenting, you know, that's in all of these aspects of life for me. And I'm choosing me that rather than anybody else. So yeah.
I love it. You guys are amazing. And shout out to those who are still with us. We do have T and Kiya G from Candid Combos. And I think the thing that I've even gotten is you gotta what you say, F it. Like you gotta just do it. And I think when Crystal Cornish says, why not? And I know a lot of people have been sitting on their gifts for a very, very long time. Myself included, fear of, you know, what others will think, or fear of how it's gonna come out, or doubt, whatever those emotions are. We allow them to stop us. And I hope anyone who is listening that you are really, really getting what T and Kiya G are saying, because it is time for us to get out of our seats. It is time for us to sit up straight. It is time for us to do 10 toes to the ground and be open and create whatever platform, whatever creative space. If it's not created, then you need to create it. These ladies have a deep past. Not only are they professionals, but they have begun to tap into their creative abilities and be vulnerable and transparent, not just for themselves, but that other people may be healed and entertained. And at the same time, like it's like healing entertainment. It really, really is.
I like that.
It's healing entertainment. It definitely is. It's necessary. It balances out.
And Kiya, and just to add that one, like you just said, laughing is medicine. And so, like, if you know anything about like hospital services or whatever, they bring a clown in to the bedside of those that may be dying. They can bring, you know, a pet and an emotional support animal. So, like, laughing is good therapy, and I believe in laughing through some pain, because if you're gonna cry, you cry ain't gonna solve shit. But if you laugh through it, somebody else that's going through it may find a joy in it rather than killing themselves over it.
So, and it's the emotion, right? It changes the vibe. You go into something else, you know, and emotions are huge, and it's a great way to move from it. So all of us are necessary. So I know we are kind of like at our max, but I know that my ladies probably have just a few more questions for you guys before we let you go.
We got time. Go ahead. We good.
I got time today. Jazz, I'll give it to you.
My question that I have for you ladies is pretty much, how can someone create space for healing, especially during the holiday season?
Wow. Yeah. That's a good question. I think when I think about space, I don't necessarily see it as a like actual physical space. I think it has to start with you finding space with yourself in yourself, because peace is a state of mind.
Amen.
Okay. Like that's just period. And so like whether you go to a service online, because I was born and raised Baptist, so I understand the Bible enough to be able to say I know that grounds some people.
Right.
So I think you have to start with being able to find something that grounds you enough to find peace in yourself. Then when you find peace in yourself, whether it's through, like I said, reading the Bible or watching a service online, or if your church is allowing 25% or 50% in, that you go into service, or if you meditate, whatever it is, that you go to the water. Sometimes he goes to the water. Find your peace within yourself first. Then go in your house and your life and clean your house, because that's the hard part. Now you got to clean house. So now you got to take inventory and see everything that's in your space that are girlfriends that you thought were girlfriends, boyfriends that you know are just using you for whatever it is, that you know you're not getting anything out of it. You got to look at them relationships that don't serve any purpose, that don't bring you peace. And then you got to clean house with that. So that's my tip.
And that's big, because it also goes with Alexia, like you and I know. You guys too, Jazz and Kiya, from Dr. Glenna. Like she says, your network determines your net worth, right? Absolutely. And so, like, if you are surrounded by a group of people, that means you know damn good, y'all been acting the same, doing the same shit since high school. Nobody has elevated any higher than that high school diploma. And like everybody is just living that ghetto mindset. Like if they not pushing you to get and do something better with yourself, they got to go, because they're a liability. They're gonna drain from you and not being able to refill you at the same time.
Right. We only taking assets into 2021, baby.
Hey, listen. Them kids and them families that think they are kids. You hear me?
Listen. We ain't got no liabilities.
Listen. Can I explain that for this show for these people, because y'all got a different audience than us?
Go ahead.
I just want to clarify that before they write y'all some emails.
Go ahead.
Because I don't give a fuck about the emails, but y'all might do. So listen. So when I say F them kids, I ain't saying it in like no figuratively kind of pervertive kind of way. That ain't it. F them kids for me and the many other people that think just like me, because I know I ain't alone, because y'all tag me in and shit. So I know it's other people around the world that saying F them kids, right? So it's not about not taking care of your kids, because y'all know I'll take well damn care of good mine. Kids take care of hers, y'all take care of yours. But for me, it's at the end of the day, if it comes down to me in this damn TJ Maxx and I got this shirt, or I'm going to go over here and got this shirt for my child, you know what? I ain't bought myself no new bras in over a year. Ask them damn kids and let me get these bras, right? Or when you order your favorite meal, I like crab cakes. So when I order me a damn crab cake meal, and Lonnie be like, Mom, give me a bite. Get the hell out of my face. Ask them kids. You just ate. You ate. You got what you wanted. You got your shit delivered. Right. You didn't want crab cake. Don't bite mine. Ask them kids.
Ordered it. But CT, I'm glad that you clarified in case
I needed to.
Good job.
You might have gotten an email, but because of your clarification, I think the person who was even getting ready to email us understands it and will send.
And they know they don't say F them kids too, because it's holiday time. Everybody got a little something extra, because we're gonna be locked in with these goddamn kids, because we is back on punishment as a nation. So they say F them kids and bought that Hennessy and Tito's, and that child ain't getting no extra toy from 5 and below.
Okay, T. All right.
You know how people look. Y'all know our crowd is watching.
Every Friday, guys, you can tune into Candid Convos. I'm telling you, this is just a snippet. You do not want to miss them. They are celebrating.
We dressed up for y'all. We being real proper today for y'all. We know.
Oh, okay.
This daytime TV. You see this chunky necklace? This for daytime TV.
I do see a statement necklace.
You just
thank you. And I got leather on my shoulder pad.
Do you have anything else that you want to ask Kiya G?
What's next? What can we? 2021 is on its way. But what is your vision for Candid Convo specifically? So just tell us what we can expect coming up. Kiya G, I would urge you also to take this opportunity to share what you have coming up very soon in January.
Yes,
but
of course. So what's next? I'm not joking. Candid Convo Worldwide. Like, I'm serious. Yes. I really, really, really am ready to have like a website. I really am ready for us to like host virtual.
We already got international fame.
Yeah, we do. Virtual parties. Some merchandise. Like, I really want to see us expand. Also, we are planning to do like some life coach certifications. So we want some. So we're planning. That's in the works. We're planning to get our certification as life coaches, so that'll be fun. So we'll have some candid convo life coaching going on. So that's gonna be super fun. For these damn labs I get. So I'm looking forward to that part. And then Don't Ignore the Scars is having their first information session called Self-Harm 101, and that's going to be January the 23rd. Unfortunately, all the seats are sold out.
I know, unfortunately. That's good news.
I got my seat.
Thank you.
If your ass was late, you was late.
Stop it. But it will be recorded, and I'll make sure that I'll post it. But we're really excited about that.
Who is we?
V and I are very excited. Okay. My daughter V and I are very excited about that.
A lot to look forward to. And shout out to V. V is amazing. And I know that she co-hosted with the show with Lexi, and I didn't realize that was your daughter. But that is amazing. And I think that's why we have to do this work, because they are watching us, and you don't sometimes know who is watching you. So I commend us for stepping into those spaces and just being courageous and transparent, because influence the generation that is behind us and the one that is ahead of us. So the work that we're doing is extremely important. So T, what's going on for 2021 for you?
Before I go into that, I also wanted to shout out V. She finished her last semester of her junior year of college, so she's a senior at Morgan State MSU. Go V! Yes. And so
psychologist.
And that's a big deal, especially with this quarantine stuff. So like that definitely took a lot of motivation to finish through. So
almost a GPA, almost very close to a.
Oh yeah, and she gets good grades. Listen, that's what's up. For 2021, I plan to I don't know. I got some life coaching stuff going on. Y'all know my goal is for Coco Buck to take the hell off. Woo! Okay, if y'all don't know, CocoBuck.com. Okay, and so my goal for that is just to take off more than what it's already done, and be able to change and touch as many people as possible.
Yeah.
My goal is also to continue to be the change that I want to see. Not just in myself as a woman, because I got a daughter and she's watching everything that I do. And Kiya, like you were saying, even though we may not think they watching, they watching. Because she's able to tell me some stuff that I'm like, damn, I didn't even know you knew that, right? And so like she knows as hell like me, and so I got to move a little different.
Yeah.
But it's the truth. And so like because I know she's my legacy, and I know that I just kind of effed up a lot of my earlier years of her life. So I feel like I owe her more. And so that's why I'm grinding harder, because I feel like I messed up in your childhood a little bit with my addiction, with my being busy helping other people's kids, and like all of that other stuff. And so I feel like I got to work more, like you said, Kid, 10 toes down. I got to be. And because I have to leave something more progressive for her as my legacy.
And T, you have
love advocates. I feel like that's gonna take off, and definitely the geeks, which is Get Excited Everyday Kids, and that's Lonnie, man. And so we got a little clothing thing I have set to the side. We printed 2 shirts, and I was like, we done. But little did I know, you know. Our evolution and progress was like, and so what about geeks? And I was like, damn, I do have that.
An accountability person.
So I had to dust it off, you know what I'm saying? And like realize that I may not have been the last person to break any of these generational curses that has been on my family, but I can make it a little bit easier for Leilani and her kids to dig a little bit and live a little bit easier because of the work that I'm doing now. So I may not see my reward, but the goal is that my child and her children can. So I think that's what's coming up.
Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. I may not get to the promised land with you, but I'm gonna make sure I see you through to it.
Baby, you knew what it was. You knew what it was. Tip my hat to you, madam.
You living it in the flesh, baby. I think we all are.
I think so too.
And I think for our audience, I hope that you guys have enjoyed this conversation and that you have some transformational information, because 2021 is upon us, right? And as we take the time to reflect on what 2020 has been, we definitely have to look forward to 2021, right? Regardless,
absolutely.
2020 has prepared us for something even unknown. You know, eyes and ears have not seen or heard, you know, what's coming for us. So I want to ask even all of us, even the ladies of the legacy, in just one word. I'll start with you, Jazz. If you can one word, how would you describe 2020 in one word? Like, what would the word be for you if you only have one word? If you got two, give me two. But in one word, the audience, feel free to describe 2020 for you. Or you know what? I'll start. 2020 for me, the one word is unpredictable.
That one. That part.
Yeah, unpredictable. Oh, ghetto. Okay.
That part.
Okay.
very much giving ghetto. Purr. This is the ghettoest shit ever I've been through. 2021 got roaches on the ceiling and all that.
Oh, Anika says revealing.
Yeah.
Revealing.
I think I'm gonna say transparency.
Yeah.
You couldn't fake this shit to 2021. You couldn't. If your ass lived in an apartment and you was posting mansions on Instagram, at some point your ass gonna have to post that goddamn futon you sleep on. So it's
like Anika said, revealing. Like Anika said, revealing.
Oh.
Yeah. I would probably have to say possibilities. Possibilities.
You're such a social worker. That shit is good. And she got them social workers 4,000s on the day, y'all.
Don't start.
All right, come on, Jazz, you have to go. What would you say one word is for 2020?
Family.
That's
family.
True.
Shit, fuck that.
Yeah.
That's true. What would you say your one word is?
I would have to say
evolution.
Right, shut up. No,
that would be too typical.
She's not gonna say that.
Words. Shut up. Words.
I got new words. I would have to say it was forceful, I guess. That would be it was forceful. So the transparency is key, you know, sitting with yourself. I was gonna say peaceful, but in the eye of the storm type of way, but it was very forceful. It definitely made me take inventory of myself, as we said, look at some things, look at some people, and eye-opening.
That part.
Yep, eye-opening. Like
eye-opening. Yes, catapult.
Yep, right. It's forceful. Right. It made you kick.
Yes.
Into gear.
Yeah. You knew you was alive in 2020, right?
Absolutely. I agree.
Yeah, like it was like all of the everything that a human could experience, it was like 2020.
We experienced it.
Yep. You're gonna know you're alive. You're gonna know you're breathing. We're gonna look at yourself.
Indeed.
And you learning who the hell got your back. Like at the end of the day, 2021, like it's all of those things. Revealing.
That's what Anika said.
Catapulting, eye-opening, like all of those things. You found out. If you didn't find out, then your ass is probably the one that got excluded from the villages. But you found out who need to be in this village with you for the true shit that you on. Right. If ain't nobody calling you slim, you was eliminated. Just know, I'm telling you, your village is gone. They doing stuff you just ain't invited. They need to know that. They need to know they're going into the holiday. Don't expect no secret Santa. It's a secret that your ass got kicked out. And I will also being transparent.
I will also say the word for you guys is beginning, right? You started amazing. So there were some beginnings, and I'm sure some people will also say some endings, which we're getting ready to do. But I just want to honor you ladies just in starting what it is that you have started this year. And I hope everyone listening, if you haven't started, you need to go ahead and get started. 2020 created a lot of space for
today.
Like get started. Don't wait.
Why not now?
Do one thing. I don't care if you have a conversation with a supportive person. Have that conversation because we're getting ready to close out the year. And this is the year that I believe that those seeds need to be planted. And then in 2021, we can begin to water them. And then baby, the harvest.
Love that.
So thank you, ladies, so much for being our guests on the show, for being our guests on our final show.
Thank you for having us. I'm excited.
We didn't get kicked out the damn show today.
I'm gonna tell you why.
Wait, that was you anyway.
Hold on, let me tell you.
We're packaged.
No,
we're packaged.
Kiya G was just saving grace.
Yep.
If she,
what you used to say as a kid, base. I got base.
Right.
You can't kick me out. I got base.
We didn't want to have no guests. Okay, we didn't want to have no guests, so we talked about it. We weren't gonna do that this time.
Right. Oh, thank you, Kiya.
We might.
Because I'm sorry, Oprah would have kicked up. Oprah wasn't playing on our last show.
We will use the mute button, but we won't kick them out. You ladies look great, so we're gonna close the show. Let everybody know just where they can continue to watch your show and when the next episode is going to premiere, and your socials. Your socials too.
Yes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you know where you guys can find us. Candy Convos, T and Kiya. It's TEI, the and, okay, A-N-D if you forgot to do it. And it's KIYA. That's on Facebook. Candy Convos TK on Instagram. We got Don't Ignore the Scars. Yeah. We got Victimless Soldier. Well, yeah, we do. So Don't Ignore the Scars is on IG. It's Dits_KV. And I am
Hold on, spell that. You sound like
D. It's D as in dog, I, T as in Tom, S as in Sam. Right. _KV.
They thought she spelled this something else.
Okay.
All right. We got CocoBump.com.
Yes, we do.
CocoBump _ Instagram. Love Advocates LLC on Facebook.
Oh, personal. Then our personal.
Oh, and I'm T Pearson. It's TEI, the NI side of Mind Your Business.
Yeah, and I'm Kiya Green on Facebook, and I'm Black Woman Rising on IG.
You hear me?
Thanks, V.
You hear me?
Yeah.
Listen, ladies, y'all rock out today. We appreciative that y'all let our baby kid having asses on y'all show.
We definitely appreciate it.
But wait, we got one more piece for you. So we always close out our show with the quote. So Jazz, go ahead and bring us on home, baby.
All right. Don't ever be ashamed of the scars life has left you with. Excuse me. Ooh. A scar means the hurt is over and the wound is closed. It means you conquered the pain, learned a lesson, grew stronger, and moved forward. A scar is the tattoo of a triumph to be proud of. Don't allow your scars to hold you hostage. Don't allow them to make you live your life in fear. You can't make the scars in your life disappear, but you can change the way you see them. You can start seeing your scars as a sign of strength and not pain.
Wow. You better, Jazz. You better, girl.
Yeah.
Who wrote that? T Person?
It was unknown.
Beautiful. T Person, thank you.
No.
Oh,
you just
add that. Thank you for that, Jazz.
Add that to Don't Ignore the Scars page and stuff.
I was thinking that on our way. V. Right. She finishing it up. V, add that. And I'm about to put it on Love Advocate. So we're going to co-collaborate on this unknown.
Yeah, send the quote to them. And again, all of the fans and family from the Candid Convos conversation, thank you guys so much.
Thank you guys.
Podcast. You guys came over the pond a bit, and we do this every Sunday with the exception of next Sunday at 2:30. So feel free to definitely tune into our show as well as the Candid Convos shows. And guys, always remember to chase your dreams and
leave your legacy.
Bye, y'all.